with you, and what I'd like to talk about today is this thing called ChatGPT that you may have heard about in the media, and I hope you can all see the screen. And it's made a lot of news recently, in the last few months, and it's meant to be this free artificial intelligence program that you can ask questions of, and it's meant to give you sensible answers. And as you can see, this is like a page from YouTube where there's a couple of things saying how it's going to make you millions of dollars and why it's such a big deal. So I'm going to talk a bit about it and also see how good it is at answering bridge questions. So this is the program I'm going to talk about. It's you can access it on the website. You don't need to download any software, and you just go to this website, chat.openai.com, and there you can sign up for a free account. And if you click on sign up, it will ask you to enter an email address. I don't think it's going to bombard you with emails, so you're welcome to try. Or you can log in once you've created an account. And when you do log in, this is what you will come up with, which is a sort of little brief examples of things you can ask ChatGPT and what its capabilities are. So I asked it earlier a few questions, and I put the questions and answers into a file, and I'm going to replay that for you, and we're going to see how it does on various topics. So I've just set this up so that it reads the contents of the file, and I started off by asking it who it was and how do you work. So let me click on this, which will hopefully read out the page content.
Who are you and how do you work? I am ChatGPT, an AI language model developed by OpenAI. I am based on the GPT 3.5 architecture, which stands for Generative Pre-trained Transformer 3.5. My purpose is to generate human-like text based on the input I receive. I have been trained on a diverse range of internet text sources, including books, articles, websites, and other textual data. This extensive training allows me to generate responses, answer questions, and engage in conversation on various topics. When you interact with me, you provide me with prompts or questions, and I generate a response based on patterns and information I have learned during my training. I don't possess personal experiences or consciousness. I'm a machine learning model designed to process and generate text. My responses are generated based on statistical patterns and associations in the training data I've been exposed to. While I strive to provide accurate and helpful information, please keep in mind that I may not always have access to the most up-to-date or real-time information, as my training only goes up until September 2021. Additionally, I don't have access to personal data about individuals unless it has been shared with me during our conversation. My primary function is to assist and provide information to the best of my abilities.
And then I asked the next question, which way are they different? So I asked some general questions, and then I'll get on to some bridge questions.
Tony, in which way are you different from a search engine like Google? ChatGPT and search engines like Google serve different purposes and have different functionalities, although there may be some overlap in certain areas. Here are a few key differences. 1. Interaction and conversation. ChatGPT, as an AI language model, is designed for interactive and conversational experiences. You can engage in a back-and-forth conversation with me, asking follow-up questions, seeking clarifications, or exploring different topics. Search engines, on the other hand, primarily provide a list of web pages relevant to the keywords or queries you input. They don't engage in interactive conversations. 2. Contextual understanding. ChatGPT aims to understand the context and nuances of a conversation, considering previous messages to provide coherent responses. It tries to generate meaningful and contextually relevant answers based on the input received. Search engines typically rely on keyword matching and indexing to provide relevant search results without deep contextual understanding. 3. Structured versus unstructured information. Search engines excel at retrieving and organizing structured information from the web. They index and categorize web pages, making it easier to find specific information or resources. ChatGPT, on the other hand, is trained on unstructured data, such as text from books, articles, and websites. It can provide explanations, opinions, suggestions, or creative responses based on its training, but it may not have access to the latest structured data or specific website information. 4. Real-time information and updates. Search engines are often better suited for retrieving real-time information and the latest news. They continuously crawl and index the web to provide up-to-date search results. ChatGPT's responses are based on its training up until September 2021, so it may not have the most current information, especially in rapidly changing fields. 5. Personalization and user history. Search engines can personalize search results based on factors like your search history, location, and preferences. They learn from your interactions and tailor results accordingly. ChatGPT, as a language model, doesn't have memory of previous conversations or access to personal data unless explicitly shared in the ongoing conversation. While both ChatGPT and search engines have their respective strengths and applications, ChatGPT's main focus is on providing conversational responses and generating text-based explanations or information based on its training data, while search engines primarily excel at retrieving structured information from the web. Tony, write a humorous haiku. The dog ate my lunch. I looked at him with surprise. He wagged his tail twice. Tony, that's not very funny. I apologize if my previous attempt at a humorous haiku didn't meet your expectations. Here's another one. Mosquitoes are pests, but they know what they're doing, sucking at life, man. Tony, write a humorous haiku about Boris Johnson. Long hair, rumpled suit, Boris Johnson rides his bike and waves his kipper. Tony, that was quite good. Thank you, I'm glad you enjoyed it. Tony, what is a grand slam in bridge? In the game of bridge, a grand slam is the highest level of contract that a partnership can bid and fulfill. It occurs when a partnership commits to winning all 13 tricks during the auction and play of a hand. To achieve a grand slam, the bidding partnership needs to have strong hands with excellent card distribution and a high level of confidence in their ability to win all the tricks. The bidding process in bridge allows players to communicate information about their hand strength and distribution to their partner, enabling them to determine whether a grand slam is possible. In contract bridge, there are two types of grand slam contracts. 1. Small slam, or small grand slam. A small slam contract is made when a partnership bids and wins 12 out of the 13 tricks. It requires the declarer, the player who won the contract, and their partner to have substantial strength and good communication to navigate the play successfully. 2. Grand slam, or grand. A grand slam contract is achieved when the partnership bids and wins all 13 tricks. It is the highest level of contract in bridge and is considered a remarkable achievement. Making a grand slam often requires exceptional hands, precise bidding, and skilled play. The scoring for grand slams and small slams is substantial and significantly higher than for lower-level contracts, reflecting the difficulty and rarity of their accomplishment. It's worth noting that the terms and scoring for grand slams may vary slightly depending on the bridge system or variant being played.
So that was a reasonable answer to the first question, except it talked about a small grand slam, which isn't really a term, but it generally got it right, although it was a bit wordy. So here's some more questions I asked it.
It's worth noting that the terms and scoring for Tony, why do you lead fourth highest in bridge? In bridge, leading fourth highest from a long suit is a common strategy that helps convey information to your partner about the distribution of your hand. Leading fourth highest means playing the fourth highest card from your longest suit. The reason for leading fourth highest is twofold. 1. Attitude. Leading fourth highest provides information about your attitude or preference in the suit being led. By playing the fourth highest card, you're indicating that you have a neutral or middle attitude towards the suit. It suggests that you neither have a particularly strong holding nor a weak one in that suit. 2. Count. Leading fourth highest also provides information about the number of cards you hold in the suit. When you lead from a long suit, playing the fourth highest card allows your partner to count the number of cards you have in that suit. For example, if you play the fourth highest card from a suit, your partner can deduce that you hold at least 4 cards in that suit. By conveying both your attitude and the count of your suit, leading fourth highest helps your partner make more informed decisions during the auction and subsequent play of the hand.
So I guess that's some kind of answer. I'm not sure it is really quite right. It's a bit of an odd answer. I'm not quite sure what it's getting at, but it's not totally useless. Anyway, that was that one. Next, I asked it, can you give me an example of a coup in bridge?
By conveying both your attitude and the count of your... Tony, can you give me an example of a coup in bridge? Certainly. In the game of bridge, a coup refers to a strategic play that allows a player to gain extra tricks by using a specific combination of cards. One example of a coup is known as a trump coup. Let's say you are in a contract of 3 NT, no trump, and the following situation arises. Dummy, spade suit 7-6 heart K8 4 diamond suit 9-7-6-5 club suit QJ10. Declarer, you, spade suit A8 5 4 heart AQJ diamond suit AKQ 4 club suit 4-2. The lead is in the east hand, and they start with the heart 2. You win the trick with the heart A and proceed to play out your high cards, winning the next 2 tricks with the diamond suit A and spade suit A. At this point, the remaining cards in both hands are dummy, spade suit 7 heart K8 4 diamond suit 9-7-6-5 club suit QJ10. Declarer, you, spade suit 8 5 4 heart QJ diamond suit KQ4 club suit 4-2. The crucial moment comes when you play the club suit 4 from your hand. East follows with the club suit 6, and West plays the club suit 3. The key play here is to deliberately allow the club suit 4 from your hand to lose to the club suit 6 from East. By doing so, you are executing a trump coup. After losing the club suit 4, you can win subsequent tricks with the club suit Q, club suit J, and club suit 10 in the dummy, effectively taking 4 club tricks in total. This coup works because East has the remaining high clubs, club suit 6 and club suit 7, while you have the higher clubs, club suit Q and club suit J. By losing the club suit 4 intentionally, you establish the remaining clubs in the dummy, allowing you to take extra tricks in the suit. Keep in mind that this is just one example of a coup in bridge, and there are various other types of coups that players can execute based on the specific card combinations in the bidding play situation. Tony, that was nonsense.
Yes, it was complete nonsense, that one. It didn't make any sense at all. And it was trying to give an example of a trump coup and then showed you a hand in 3 no trump. So that's impossible. A trump coup only occurs in a suit contract. So I just said that was nonsense, which it was.
Tony, that was nonsense. I apologize if the example provided did not meet your expectations or if it was unclear. If you have any specific questions or need further clarification on a particular aspect of bridge or coup plays, please let me know, and I'll be happy to assist you. Tony, can you give me an example of overtaking in bridge? Certainly. Overtaking in bridge refers to a play where a higher ranking card is played to win a trick instead of playing a lower ranking card. It is typically used to gain extra tricks or establish a long suit. Here's an example of overtaking in bridge. Let's say you are the declarer and the contract is in a suit, specifically spades. The following cards are in play. Dummy, spade suit QJ9 heart A KQ4 diamond suit 8, 6, 2 club suit J10 9. Declarer, you, spade suit AK8 4 heart 7 6 diamond suit KJ9 7 club suit A3 2. The lead is in the west hand, and they start with the spade suit Q. The trick proceeds as follows. West plays the spade suit Q. Dummy plays the spade suit J. Declarer, you, plays the spade suit A. At this point, you have a decision to make. Instead of playing a lower spade, such as the spade suit 8 or spade suit 4, you decide to overtake the spade suit A with the spade suit K from your hand. By overtaking, you ensure that the spade suit J in the dummy becomes a winning card. This play can help establish an extra trick in the spade suit. After overtaking, the remaining cards in both hands are dummy, spade suit J9 heart A KQ 4 diamond suit 8, 6, 2 club suit J10 9. Declarer, you, spade suit 8 4 heart 7 6 diamond suit KJ9 7 club suit A3 2. Now, you can proceed to play the spade suit J from the dummy, winning an additional spade trick.
So I'm just going to interrupt there because again, it's a rubbish answer. It doesn't make any sense at all. It's talking about overtaking in spades, which doesn't really make any sense because you've got 4 top tricks, and it talks about overtaking the ace of spades with the king of spades. So it's like totally a load of nonsense there, really. Anyway, let's go on to another question. I asked it.
Tony, could you demonstrate how to play a hand using a cross-rough technique? Certainly. I'll provide you with a step-by-step example of playing a hand using a cross-rough technique in bridge. Let's consider the following hand as an example. North, declarer, spade suit AKQ, heart J9, diamond suit JT98, club suit AKQ. South, dummy, spade suit J98, heart AKQ, diamond suit AKQ7, club suit J76. The contract is 4 hearts, and North is the declarer.
So if you just look at those hands, you'll see there's not going to be any cross-ruffing on this hand because you've actually got all the top tricks, 3 spades, 3 hearts, 4 diamonds, and 3 clubs. So that's a terrible example.
The contract is 4 hearts, and North is the declarer. The goal is to take as many tricks as possible using a cross-raft strategy. Here's how you can approach playing the hand using a cross-raft technique. 1. Start by drawing trumps. As the declarer, you want to draw trumps to eliminate the opponent's trump cards. Play the highest heart from the North hand, spade suit A. The opponents follow suit. 2. Play a low club from North. Since you have strong clubs in both hands.
Okay, so I'll just interrupt it there because it really is a load of nonsense. It's a very authoritative sounding response, but unfortunately it doesn't make any sense at all. So that was rather sad. I just ended with one question.
Tony, can you tell me a joke about bridge? Of course. Here's a bridge-related joke for you. Why did the bridge player become a detective? Because they were an expert at finding missing tricks.
Anyway, so there we go. That was a brief venture of trying out a few questions on it. And it obviously knows a little bit about bridge, but the examples it came up with were terrible, a lot of them. So there's I think a long way to go before it's of any use at all in teaching or helping anyone to play bridge. Okay. Anyone have any questions about that? Do unmute yourselves if you wish to ask something. Is there anything you'd like to ask ChatGPT while we're here? I can type in a question if someone would like to, but of course you can do this yourself. Just create your own account and ask it anything you like.
Silly question, Tony. Why are you showing us this?
Well, I thought it was interesting to see, as there's a lot of hype about it, whether it was any good at anything at bridge, which it really, I mean, some things it gets right, but a lot of it sort of gets wrong. And I think while it's got so much lacking in it, I don't really think it's much use. But I was interested to see whether it would know anything, and it turns out it's not very good at the moment.
Yeah. No, it's very helpful, Tony, this partner here. I think it's really, I actually wanted to go on to ChatGPT. You sort of introduced me to it. I think it's quite interesting. And I think it's also interesting that it doesn't necessarily give you the right responses in terms of, the bridge play. So I think that's
cool. No. Yeah. Well, what I thought was interesting was that it seems so definite about it. Said, yes, I know that, and then it gives you a load of nonsense.
Yeah.
So I think there's some work to do. But
Tony?
Yes.
Why don't you ask him, if you think it's a him, where they play strong note trump and where they play weak note trump?
Where do people play strong rather than weak no trump? Try that. In the game Contract Bridge, the decision play strong no trump versus weak no trump bid. I can probably click on this to read it out.
Chat history. Where do people play strong rather than weak no trump? In the game of Contract Bridge, the decision to play a strong no trump opening bid versus a weak no trump opening bid depends on the bidding system and conventions used by the players. Different players and regions may have variations in their approach to opening bids. That being said, the strong no trump opening bid is more commonly played in North America, particularly in the United States, whereas the weak no trump opening bid is more prevalent in Europe and other parts of the world. The strong no trump opening bid typically shows a balanced hand with a high point count, often ranging from 15 to 17 high card points, HCP. This approach emphasizes a more aggressive bidding style, aiming to reach game or slam contracts when that. Free research preview. ChatGPT may produce
I
inaccurate.
don't know what happened with there, but most of that was fairly accurate, I thought, although...
No, they play strong in France.
Well, that's true. And I mean, yes, that's true. It's mainly just Britain and a few other places that play weak, Trump. So, but it's sort of gets some of that right anyway. That I don't agree with that last sentence where it says this approach emphasizes a more aggressive bidding style. I don't think that's true at all. Playing strong, no Trump. I think it's made that up. But there we are. Anyway, anyone else have anything else they'd like to add to this discussion?
Well, it's just heard on the news that AI has found a powerful antibiotic.
All right.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm sure there's plenty of roles for AI, but I don't think it's going to be very helpful with bridge anyway.
Ah. Okay.
Okay. Anyway, we'll end the talk there. Thank you all very much. I hope you found that interesting, and of course you're welcome to. Of course, you can download, create your own account, and try it out yourself if you're interested.
Yeah, thank you, Jeff.
That ends the talk today.